Penner, owner of Plenty of Sunshine Travel, and today I'm joined by Cindy, and Cindy is from Princess Cruises, and I've had the opportunity to meet with Cindy on 2 separate times before this video. So if you'd like to go back and look at those episodes, they're numbers 13 and 25, but do come back to this one because we've got some exciting stuff to cover. So over to you, Cindy.
Hi, Kathleen. So nice to see you again. I can't believe it's been a few months.
It has, yeah. Wow, time flies when you're stuck at home. Look at that.
You know what? It has been crazy. It's amazing how busy you can find yourself being while you're at home. But I'm very excited to be here today because, of course, as you know, we're all starting to talk about sailing and getting our ships back in the water, which, yay, super excited about. So I got some great kind of nice and longer itineraries I want to talk about with you guys this morning. And then also just give you a little bit of update about our ocean medallion and a little bit of health and safety, if you don't mind. So
fabulous. Okay.
Let's get started. So of course, Princess, before crazy 2020 happened and the whole COVID situation, Princess was really always known as the destination leader. We were known for this because we visit 7 continents, over 100 countries, but we also visit over 380 different destinations and ports. So tons to see and do, really a destination for everybody. But it really wasn't just the destinations or the number of destinations that we got that title, the destination leader. It was actually because of how we bring the destination on board for our guests. And so we do this with things such as regional cuisine. We always make sure we have regional cuisine on board. We talk to the local chefs and at restaurants. We buy local ingredients, and we make sure that they get that fresh, local taste right on board the ship. And so there's so many great different flavors to appreciate and enjoy on your sailing. Of course, we've got our local entertainers. So we always bring the local people on to teach us their traditions, their culture, their history. And one of my favorite things that the locals do is they get to tell you the trips and kind of tips and tricks on when you're touring around, right? So they'll tell you, try here. Here, it's too touristy. Go here for the best ice cream, right? So they'll kind of give you the different ideas. And of course, they always have great recommendations for little cafe restaurants while you're out exploring those destinations.
Yeah, I love that because that's one way that you actually get to see the area, not like a tourist, but like a local. So you go
exactly, and so that's what they're there for. That they're there to give you those tips, and you go, oh, right, and that's so important. It really is. And then, of course, we offer our destination programs. And so what we do is we really want to make sure that our guests are experiencing these destinations on board the ship. So even without leaving the ship, they know where they're going, what they're seeing, kind of get the feel for that destination. So one of my favorites is the North to Alaska. The dog sled puppies on board in Skagway, so you can play with puppies and learn about the dog sled team's life and what it's like to be part of a dog sled team and experience that. We also have, of course, rangers on board, always there to talk with you, and naturalists, and making sure they're giving the stories and the history of Alaska and the area you're visiting. And of course, again, the cuisine. And then same when you're going across the ditch, when you're doing Australia, New Zealand, we actually bring 40,000 years of Maori indigenous culture onto the ship. So you can learn their traditions, their culture, their history, and you can actually take part in it. So you can learn how some of the dances, and beading work and things like that. And then, of course, while you're sailing around the Caribbean, who doesn't like to experience, the Caribbean Jamaican jerk chicken or, the amazing beverages that they have in the Caribbean islands, right? And of course, we've got the steel drum classes and the parts in the piazza. So lots of different opportunities there to experience that destination the entire time you're sailing, for sure. And then, of course, we've got other great partners. So as you know, we are partners with Discovery Channel and Animal Planet, which actually gives us some really great shore excursions that a lot of people don't know. The Animal Planet and Discovery partnership gets us into places that we wouldn't have been able to get into without. So for example, while you're sailing around Panama Canal and while we're visiting Costa Rica, you can go and spend the day at the Sloth Sanctuary. And it's because of the Animal Planet partnership that we're able to get that offer to our guests. So it really is. I mean, who doesn't want to go on a sloth, right? Like that's one of my dreams. I haven't got there yet, but it's on the list. I always want to play with sloths. So.
Yeah, my second daughter adores sloths. She has sloth everywhere. She's 23, but she still has sloth teddy bears. That's something that she would just really enjoy to go and visit.
It is amazing. And you actually get to hold them and my boss has done it a couple times. And when he comes back, the pictures he has, oh my gosh, I'm just like jealous. I want to get there so bad and hug a sloth.
Probably has a smile from ear to ear too.
Exactly.
It's all about the memories.
It is. Well, you know what? It's about doing that thing that I mean, I can't hug a sloth in Calgary, Alberta. There's no hugging a sloth. So it's about that experience and that memory and that, it's, kind of that opportunity, right? So,
absolutely.
So of course, we also have so many other partners. Like for our cuisine, we have partnerships with amazing chefs like Curtis Stone. Norman loves chocolates. Of course, his chocolates are absolutely just incredible and his desserts amazing. And so we always make sure to have their menus and their treats on board so that our guests can actually enjoy those special delights. And then we also have partnerships with for entertainment, such as with Stephen Schwartz, award-winning producer, composer of many Broadway shows, Wicked, Godspell, Pippin. So he partnership with us. He brought us on 4 different Broadway shows onto our ships. He was there to design the costumes. So a very big part of it, right? And so we're very excited to offer these Broadway shows or Broadway level shows on board our ships for us. And then of course, I mean, The Voice is always on TV. It's been on TV for a few years now. Great TV show, The Voice. And of course, now we have a partnership with The Voice on some of our ships called Voice of the Ocean. And so our guests get to sing if they wish and try their luck at turning those chairs around. So if you think you have a voice that can turn the chair, definitely make sure you volunteer for that one, because you could be walking away with a little voice award. So it's a really great experience. I actually know some clients. One client here in the area actually has won 8 times. Yeah, it's incredible.
Excellent voice and good for them. Wow.
Amazing voice. So definitely. And then of course, after a busy day of exploring destinations, eating great cuisine, going to the evening entertainment, you're exhausted. Getting to have amazing sleeping, right? And so we partnered with international sleep doctor, Dr. Michael Bruce, as well as fashion designer Candice Olson, to design our new mattresses, our new pillows, and our duvets. All are absolutely amazing, making sure we're giving our guests the best sleep ever so they have the best energy and ready to go again tomorrow. So really is. I keep wanting to try to take one of the pillows home with me, but they always catch me trying to leave the cabin with it.
Yeah, they don't fit well in our suitcases, do they?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. I keep trying. So what Princess has been kind of busy over the last year, because we took this whole COVID pause as, instead of kind of sitting, just waiting to start sailing again, we've actually been very, very busy. And so we did sell some of our ships. We did bring on a new ship, and we have another new ship coming on in a couple of months. So we've been very busy with our ships. But one of the biggest things what we've been doing is the Ocean Medallion class. So we have got the Ocean Medallion class. And when we introduced this little piece of technology here 4 years ago, who knew it would be so important in a post-COVID world? And so this piece of technology is a little medallion, literally the size of a toonie. You just have to have it on you, and it actually works with your phone app or your iPad app, and it gives our guests a whole new experience. And so some of the things that we kind of started with 4 years ago, and we started slowly bringing it out, was things such as what you need delivered. So you could order your drinks and your food from certain restaurants on your device, and we would bring it to you anywhere you were, including your balcony cabin. So it was amazing. So you could order pizza or drinks or whatever right to your pool chair, never having to leave. We also had the door entry. You no longer had to have the cruise card and find it and slide it. And, now you just walk up to your doors. You see this lady doing with her hands full. The medallion is recognized by your door, and the door unlocks. And so you just push it open with kind of your shoulder, your hip, go in. So no more having to look for that card. It's so much easier. And you know what? That's usually me. I'm usually the one with the 2 cups of coffee and a plate full of donuts. And it makes it so much more easier for sure.
Absolutely.
And then of course, find your way and shipmates. So this is really important, especially for friends and families traveling together. If I have 3 teenage daughters, so I like to kind of know where they are at sometimes, because they're always trying to avoid me.
They do. I have 4. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Thank you. Okay, good to hear. It's not just mine. Excellent.
Yep, 4 girls, very independent. Off they go, right?
Exactly, exactly. So this way I can kind of see where they're at, find them, go and visit with them. And then of course, then they usually take off again. So with these medallions, you can actually locate and see where your friends and family are. And the best part about that is if you're an adult, you can turn it off. So for example, if you don't want someone to find you, you can turn it off so they couldn't find you, but kids can't turn it off under age 21. So it's really kind of a nice little thing to have for those families traveling together for sure. Now, some of the exciting areas that we've enhanced. So this is what we've been working so hard for. The touchless embarkation and staggered arrivals. Now, this is huge because in the past, you would have had got to the port, you would have sat in a kind of a big area, waited until it was ready to board, and then they would have brought you on. Well, this, we're trying to avoid that. There's no more gathering. So literally, you do your paperwork, kind of get it all done on your devices prior. Then what you do is you set a time you want to arrive. So say you want to arrive at 10:20 a.m. Then you at 10:20 a.m. you walk right through, right? And so the goal is that as long as you've got all your paperwork and everything done on your device, you literally just walk right from shore to ship seamlessly. Very simple.
And Princess was always really good about getting you on early to begin with. So this is quite an enhancement to have that set. Wow.
It is. It's going to save the crowds. It's going to get the guests on the ship faster so they can start enjoying. And of course, the buffet and everything will be waiting for them. So who doesn't want to get on sooner, right? So yes. We also have a new passenger safety drill protocol. So of course, you've sailed before, you know that you have to go to the muster station and listen to them talk for about 45 minutes as they tell you how to put your life jacket on. It's a safety requirement. Well, because we're trying to avoid huge groups kind of getting together for kind of limiting that, the safety drill protocol is a video that you watch on your device or in your cabin. You then, once you've done watching it, you listen to the captain speak, because the captain will do his announcement. Sometime between the time you board and the time that we take off at 4 o'clock, you need to walk through the muster station. Just on your own, just walk through it so that we see that you actually found your muster station.
Okay.
And checks you off as done your safety drill.
Oh, awesome.
Yes.
That's amazing. So much shorter. Yeah.
You can enjoy your trip.
You had to bring your life jacket, and you all had to sit there in the amphitheater or the Royal Theater and watch the person. Wow. Yeah, that's great.
It's much easier, and exactly. And that way you're not having to stop your vacation, right? You can enjoy that pure beer and pizza without having to go and grab your life jacket and run down at 4 o'clock. So it definitely is great. We'll continue checking in with our guests with health questionnaires. So we'll be checking in with them through the app, making sure they're feeling okay. We have touchless payments now, so no longer do you have to sign anything. It's going to be all touchless payments. And then I think this is actually something, this next portion, the real-time visibility into venue capacity is huge. I feel this is amazing because we all have different comfort levels with crowds at this time, right? Kind of coming back slowly to a quote unquote normal society. And so we're a little nervous on, different levels of nervousness with crowds. You can actually check your devices in your app and see how is. So for example, if I want to go the art auction, I can look on my device and say, what's the art auction looking like? How many seats are there? What is the capacity? How many are already filled up? And then I make an informed decision. Do I want to go or do I not want to go? And that way it gives you as the guest, the informed decision to make a choice that fits best for you. And that's really important.
And that would be really good as well for if you're going to one of the shows and, you wait in line for a little bit, you finally get there and it's like, oh, it's sold out, they're full. So now you can see, is there availability for myself and my family to come and sit down together? So
exactly.
Awesome. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's really going to be nice. Last 2 weeks ago, we announced this exciting new Dine My Way. And so Dine My Way is, as you know, Princess had late dining, early dining, anytime dining. Well, gone are the days of the late, early, and anytime. And what now it is it's completely Dine My Way flexibility. So we're giving our guests the opportunity to craft their own dining journey. They can dine when they want, how they want, with who they want, and where they want. It's all very, very simple. You know the app, the Medallion app, you access it and go onto the area that says Dine My Way, and then you can manage and make your own reservations. You can either do it for the entire week. So for example, if you want, like some people like to have a set time at like that late, they like the late or the early. So they can choose that time, and then they can choose that they want the same table. And then your same table every day. Or if you say, you know what, I don't want this today, I want to go at 6. Tomorrow I want to go at 7:15. The next day I want to go at 5. You can do a day-by-day reservation. You can say, I want a table of 2. I want a table of 6. I want to dine with so-and-so. And you can choose who you want to dine with. And so it really gives it all that flexibility. It even actually gives them the flexibility to add things such as their allergies. So if you have allergies or food, you know how some people are sensitive to certain food types, such as gluten, you can add that in there so that we make sure we're not giving you and we're watching kind of what we're serving you.
Yes, perfect.
You can choose, which I really like, is that you choose what level of speed you want to be served at, right? So if you're in a hurry because you want to get to the evening event, you can say, I want to dine quickly tonight. And then our device will tell our waiters, and then they'll serve you faster. If you have nothing better you want to do but sit in that dining room and enjoy a glass of wine in your meal, then you can say, I want a slow pace, and they'll take their time. So I love that.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It is. It
Sounds
is
like a lot of personalized enhancements. So that's
exactly.
Yeah.
It's about making it their experience. It's about giving our guests the opportunity to make this boat what they wish, which is so and very important to making that trip.
Yes. It is your vacation after all. It's not preset. This is what we're doing. End of story. It's yours. Yeah.
Exactly. It's your own vacation, right? So you should be able to choose what you want and how you want to do it. So yeah, I was pretty excited by that. I'm not going to lie. I was like, yay. You know, because there's days where you want to take your time. Like, I'm like, I got nothing better to do. And then there's other days I'm like, come on, I got a show to get, you know, so it's, you can choose. The biggest thing that we've been working on is we've actually upped our number of ships that will have the medallion class. Because this was going to be something that would have taken 10 years on average to get all of our ships done because of the cost and the work and effort that goes into it. While we're all waiting, we actually got it approved, and we have got all of our ships in medallion class when they start sailing. So every single one of our 14 ships will be medallion class when it gets back into the water. So that's very, very exciting. It's been a lot of work, but we're very, very proud of that. So for sure, everybody, every cabin category, ship will be able to enjoy our medallion class service.
Which is great. Yeah.
Yes, very exciting. Now, the one thing that Princess is actually the first company in the world to upcycle ocean plastics. This beautiful world we live in, you know what, we have to make sure we look after it. And so we've actually started upcycling is the word I'm looking for there. The plastic from the ocean. And then we're making the bands for our devices so that we're getting them and making sure that we clean up this beautiful ocean that we sail. And so we can continue for many generations to experience and enjoy it. And so as you can see here, for every 2 water bottles we take out, we build 1 band with. It is a completely solar energy powered recompounding process, and there are no chemicals added. So
amazing. That's great.
Yeah. Now the guest experience to return to service. I get this question quite a bit, health and safety standards. And you know what, I apologize. I wish I could give you more answers, and maybe next time we meet, I'll have confirmed answers. What I can tell you is for sailings until 2021, end of 2021, we are saying guests have to be vaccinated, of course, both dosages of the vaccine, and you have to be able to prove it. We do have a small allowance from the CDC where if it's for health reasons or if it's a religious reason, we can allow a certain percentage of guests to get on board ship without vaccine, but that does have to be requested through our travel partners to us. And because it is limited on how many people can be vaccine free or not vaccinated, sorry, then it actually is limited. So you do have to book those pretty far out. But everybody else traveling for 2021 with us at this point does have to be vaccinated.
Things that's on a dime. So that's something that we would, approach as
exactly. It's always subject to change. And you know what? We actually have not said that for 2022 sailings at this time because we really are thinking it'll probably change by then. So for us, it's only right now what we're sailing for 2021. Right. Environmental sanitization, of course, continuing to clean and make sure that our guests have the best health safety standards areas. Our guest services, the buffet will be there. Yes, the buffet will be there. It just will not be self-served. We will serve it to you on the other side. So you tell us what you want, we'll serve it and pass it off. Make sure that you have that. And of course, we're continuing to discover, what does it look like? Do masks have to be required on board the ship? If you're vaccinated, the answer is no. The masks do not have to be required in public areas when you're on board the ship. So there is different things coming out, and we're continuing to develop this. It is, always changing. And so we always recommend guests that, to keep in touch with you, our travel partners, because you're going to get the most up-to-date information as soon as it comes from us. Our healthcare, of course, we've got the doctors and the nurses on board. We've got COVID tests. It does show signs. We've got, the medicine to help make you feel better, more ventilators if required. So we're making sure that we keep our guests safe and healthy and help them through it if they did get COVID. Our ventilation systems, we've got new ventilation systems, top quality, as well as we're every 5 minutes pumping fresh air into all public areas and all cabins.
Okay.
And it's so nice fresh air. And then we're also partnership with our local areas. So we've got an agreement with all the local areas that we're going to, that they're there to assist us if we need something with our guests, to make sure we get them health and safety on board on land if we need to get them off the ship. So always making sure that we have all of that. And of course, the shore excursions, if you're vaccinated at this time for 2021, you actually can go and explore on your own. You do not need to take one of our shore excursions.
Okay.
As long as you're vaccinated. So so at this point, that's kind of the update on that.
Yeah, and like you said, things change so fast. So this is something that we would find out all the research for you and get back to you. And that's one of the reasons to use a travel advisor, because we have access to all of these things. So that's something that I really try to tell my clients. It's like, you know what? I will make sure you have a PDF with all the latest things prior to embarking on your cruise.
It is so important, because even after you booked, as you're getting closer, any changes, we let you, the travel partner, know right away. And so important, because you're going to be the one that's going to be finding out faster than a lot of time directly. So it's so much easier. Definitely, I agree. That's travel partners are so important through this whole thing. So yes. We are excited because we did release back sailing in here in 2021. As we were kind of talking earlier, Alaska is back for July and August and September from Seattle round trip. But really, more of the focus for us Canadians will be the September till the September to November, because we're seeing a little bit less Canadians booking the July, August, September to Alaska, just because the government's not quite open full force yet there. They will be soon, hopefully, fingers crossed. So we're introducing California coastals, Mexican Riviera. We are looking at our Hawaii, our 3 to 5 day West Coast, and our Panama Canal, as well as many different Caribbean sailings. So we are coming back for the fall, and we're super excited about that. We're also just
finally say that we're coming back. That 30-day pause of operations, who knew it was going to turn into 16, 17 months? So I'm sure you're just as excited as all of the people who are going on the cruise.
You know what? It is so exciting. It's like, woo, right? Because it's like, it's been so long. Who knew? And you're right. It's a great time. We've actually got videos of the ships kind of with only 100 of our crew on it, and this is a huge 3,600 passenger ship sailing with 100 people. It looks so sad and so lonely, so we're all excited to get people back on there and see them filled and having some fun again, for sure. We also just released Southeast Asia for our winter 22 and our spring 2023 sailings. So that's exciting as well, because we are seeing a lot of people book further out for 2022 and 2023. Now, today, Princess, we offer everything from 2-day sailings up to our road cruise is 111-day sailing. And so, there's so many different sailings to talk about, but I actually wanted just to point out a few of my favorite. I call them the dream voyages. After having no sailing for, like you said, 16 months, it's really time to start sailing and choose those dream locations again. And what we actually are finding are people are really wanting to book long durations. They want to do something that they've been waiting to do, that bucket list. We don't know, Like, who knew that the world was going to shut down kind of a thing for that long? And so a lot of people don't want to waste that time again. And so we're seeing tons, a lot of longer bookings selling really quickly. And so if I had my dream, here are some of the itineraries that I would sail on. So of course, South America, I mean, such a beautiful, diversified area to visit. You know, the Atacama Desert is actually one of the driest places on Earth. And, you know, it's had actually, since the scientists have been keeping record of rainfall, some of it has not had any rainfall. And so you have, you know, you go from the Atacama Desert to the Amazon River, right? Mm-hmm. And it's the largest river in the world, and it has more water volume than the next 7 rivers do altogether on that list. And then you go from there to like Rio de Janeiro, which is a huge city, you know, and lively and busy and active. And of course, it's got one of the 7 wonders of the world. It's got the Christ the Redeemer statue. And so back in, just confirm my year, 2007, it became one of the 7 wonders of the world. And it stands 124 feet high, right? And weighs 1.4 million pounds. So amazing statue to see. Mm-hmm. South America is known for Iguazu Falls, which has, you know, 269 falls in a 2.7 kilometer range, with the tallest one being 270 feet high. So amazing waterfalls. And then Machu Picchu. Mm-hmm. Right? Machu Picchu is that lost civilization in the clouds, 15th century civilization that just seemed to have disappeared. And so, you know, seeing Machu Picchu and Iguazu Falls is such a bucket list for so many people. And so definitely an amazing area to explore. Some of the areas that you can visit while you're kind of sailing around the entire South America area there is, of course, Easter Island, where, of course, the head statues, as we all know from, you know, many magazines that we see. This is a remote volcanic island. It's actually famed for the archaeological sites of what we call the moai. So those statue heads are called the moais, and they're from the 13th and 16th century. So incredible to just imagine why these were built. Yeah. You can also go and enjoy, while you're going around visiting Falkland Islands, the penguin colonies, and of course the sea lion colonies. Mm-hmm. And again, I know we were talking sloths earlier. To me, I would love to see penguins and sea lions up close. Mm-hmm. Again, you know, being in Alberta, it's not quite an opportunity that usually happens. Mm-hmm. So I'm very excited to say that would be something I would enjoy.
Yes, absolutely.
And then this beautiful, colorful area. A lot of people don't know about La Boca. So La Boca actually used to be a one-time shipyard. And this colorful area is actually where the tango was first invented or danced. And so today you can actually go there, and they've got little cafes, artists set up with little arts, they're selling their arts, and local dancers dancing the tango, the entire area. So it's an amazing little area to experience and feel.
That's awesome.
It really is. Now, one of the tours one of the itineraries that I chose is actually the Antarctica and Cape Horn. This is such an amazing sailing, and we can only do it in a couple of months of the year. It can only be done mid-December till mid-February. Just because of the weather, you can't get into the Antarctic Peninsula for the rest of the time with our ships. Wow. We do have 3 sailings that we have on this. It's 16 days. It goes from Buenos Aires around through the Antarctica, visiting for 4 days. It is a scenic cruise. So you get to scenically cruise through and then back up to Santiago. So absolutely amazing. Did you know, Kathleen, that the Antarctic is actually claimed by 3 different countries? So when you're visiting that area, you're actually visiting 3 different countries.
I did not. Oh, wow. That's really
See? Imagine that stamp on your passport. Right? So yes.
So what 3 countries are they owned by? Do you happen to?
You know what? I didn't actually read up on that. Okay. I apologize. I actually found that, and then my kids came in, interrupted me, and I was like, and then I completely didn't go back to it. But it's 3 different.
I'll look it up then. Yeah, that's cool. Interesting.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting to read. I was like, oh, I didn't know that.
Usually countries don't share, so that's awesome.
Well, at least I don't know. I don't know who would. I guess they have to worry about having to decide who has the people's vote, right? Because Penguins, do they get to vote? But to Australia, New Zealand, another area that, you know what, in my heart, just is an amazing destination to visit. Sydney Harbor is an iconic harbor, one of the most beautiful in the world. It is just famed when you speak to people who've traveled all over the world. Most of people will say to you that Sydney Harbor is one of the most beautiful. And it's just because that harbor bridge, as well as coming in to, of course, the Sydney Opera House with the lights on. They say it's absolutely breathtaking. Of course, on our ships, we have across the ditch, always sailing. So that's, you know what, we have that feel while you're in Australia, New Zealand, you're experiencing that Maori culture, and you're experiencing all their history and their traditions. There's so many reasons to visit Australia, from the unique wildlife, like the kangaroo, the koalas, the platypus, one of my favorites. I love the platypus. To, of course, the regional wine area, Margaret River. One award-winning wine come from here. And so you can definitely go and experience it right there in their own region. The culture, as I mentioned, the history of the Maori in New Zealand, as well as the indigenous people of Australia. If you want to go inland a little bit more, Uluru, Ayers Rock, right? Known as a magical rock by the local indigenous culture. They say it's magical because it turns different colors in the morning, at sunrise, and at sunset.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and they say, you know what, they say this thing's amazing. I haven't seen it yet, but they say it's incredible. They say it's, as you can see in the picture, you're literally in the middle of this kind of like a desert feel to it. And then there's this huge 1,142 foot rock that appears out of nowhere. So it's breathtaking. It really is. But to me, this would be my dream cruise. 28-day around Australia. Look at this sailing. We got two of them sailing, one in October and one in March, 28 days. You can either embark round trip from Brisbane, Sydney, or Perth. So if you want to spend a little bit more time in one of those three ports, you can make it your port of choice. And I mean, look at the destinations. You get to go to Cairns, so of course is the gateway to Great Barrier Reef. My mind's there. Of course, Brisbane is known for the Gold Coast. You know, and then Kangaroo Island. I actually didn't know much about Kangaroo Island, so I Googled it a little bit to find out, because I'm like, what is Kangaroo Island? Thinking it's got lots of kangaroos, right? But no, it's actually over a third of it is protected nature reserve, and it actually has more sea lions and koalas and bird species. Who knew?
It's called Kangaroo Island. Oh.
I know, right? So there you go. And of course, you can visit Flinders Chase National Park, actually known for many penguin colonies. So there you go. I actually I wanted to Google that because, of course, I was like, is it just kangaroos? But no, so much more. And then Margaret River is actually, like I mentioned, wine, right? So who doesn't enjoy good wine? So yeah.
Nice.
Now, hopping over to Europe. Europe is a special place to me. I love Europe. Europe has been such an amazing experiences over the last few years. And it's got, you know, I love it because it offers something for everybody. It's got history, it's got culture, it's got traditions, it's got modern, it's got old towns. Like it's everything kind of pushed in together. It's got amazing food, you know, great wine. How do you not love Europe, any area of Europe? And it's amazing how every part is a different experience and a different feel. And so, I mean, we offer, of course, our Mediterranean cruises. And these Med cruises, of course, visit places like Santorini, which is known for its sunset. And you hear people talk about the sunset of Santorini, but until you've seen it, oh, wow, it is gigantic. I have never seen the sun that big before. And absolutely breathtaking. I mean, definitely a must. And of course, there's the donkeys, doing the donkeys up the hill of Santorini. It's hilarious. It's absolutely, it's just fun. Wow. So it really is. It's so fun. And of course, then there's also the beautiful area of Cinque Terre in Italy. This is 5 different villages, all very colorful. All you see up the hill there, and each of them has a different flavor and feel to them. And so they're great little areas to just explore. And of course, then, you know, you of course got Barcelona with Sagrada Familia, you know, a cathedral that's never actually been finished, but that actually is a World UNESCO Heritage Site. So it's got so much to offer.
It's worth touring. Yes.
It really does. It's, yeah, I actually, you know what, I've done a lot of Greece and the different Greek islands. Greece, oh my gosh, Greece to me has got my heart in so many ways. I spent 3 weeks around there traveling, and I just love Greece in so many areas. The Baltic cruises, of course, we have amazing Baltic cruises. Our most popular is our 11 to 12 day Scandinavia, Russia, where you spend the overnight in St. Petersburg. You get to visit places such as St. Catherine's Palace. This is their summer home, is in the picture below here. And of course, is famed for its amber room. Not only is that, but did you know she had over 30,000 dresses stored here?
Goodness me.
I know. Could you imagine her walk-in closet? I'm just going to say, right?
Something, yeah.
It really is. But you know what? The Baltic cruises actually had, I mean, I knew St. Petersburg was going to be amazing when I sailed it with my husband in 2019. I knew it. Like, I just knew I loved Russia and all the history and the feel to it. But I actually fell in love with a little town called Tallinn, Estonia. This little town is the old town of it. You swear you just walked off of Beauty and the Beast. It's got cobblestone streets. It's got the little, people selling their fruits and their fresh vegetables in little carts. They've got cafes. They've got little flower carts. I mean, it felt like I walked right off of Beauty and the Beast, the cartoon, in her little town that she grew up in. It was amazing. Such beautiful cathedrals. It was absolutely one of my favorite little areas.
So it felt like you were in a storybook movie, isn't that?
It did. I felt like I was like in a storybook. It was so incredible. It's just so amazing. Like, we spent the day walking around, and it was absolutely breathtaking. One of for sure my little gems. I always say it was something that I did not expect to love as much as I did. So definitely. And of course, then we have our British Isle cruises. And of course, our British Isles cruises, I mean, visit all over those amazing areas. Did you know there's over 4,000 castles just in the area alone for the British Isles? Right?
I love castles. That would be quite the tour then. Yeah.
Exactly. Now, of course, there's everything from the Blarney Castle, where you can climb at the tower and see if you can kiss the Blarney Stone. And then, of course, Edinburgh has in August every year the military tattoo. So we're already selling for the military tattoo in August of 2022. But I did choose 2 itineraries that I wanted just to quickly point out. So when I did my Scandinavia Russia, I was there 12 days. And I actually said to my husband, oh my gosh, I could easily spend a month visiting this area. So then when I was putting together a PowerPoint here just last month, I saw this itinerary, and I gotta be honest, I squealed. I was like, oh, this is what I want. Yeah, it's like, look at this itinerary. It's so much. You're visiting Iceland, you're visiting England, you're visiting Scotland. Like, it's such a great combination. Like, you're
hitting every little thing that you wanted to see.
It really is. And I'm just like, oh, so I gotta be honest, I squealed, and I'm trying to convince my husband for August of 2022 we should do this, because to me it's just incredible. Like that, I can't lie. I was like squealing. I was so excited. I'm seeing so much of this area, but there's so much more I wanted to do, and this really hits it all. The next one I actually chose was the 21-day med collection. And I loved it because it had a really good chunk of, like I mentioned, Greece has got my heart. And so here is Greece. It's got Mykonos, Santorini, Crete, Athens. So it's got so much of the Greece feel to it, but yet still getting to go and explore Barcelona, Corfu, Malta. You're going to see the different areas as well. So absolutely a beautiful tour. And I wanted to share this one because it great days to choose them from 2022. So that's kind of just a taste of a couple of itineraries that interested me, and I thought I'd share with you all. Of course, until June here, we do have our Indulge at Sea, where we have our extra onboard credit when you purchase your cruise with us. So definitely you can use that up to $200 onboard credit towards your spa, specialty dining, whatever you choose to wish to do with it. After short
excursions to get so immersed in the area, that's something.
Exactly. And after June 30th, I'm not quite sure what's going to happen for promotions, but as you know, we do put them on throughout the year. So, but I wanted to share this one with you. And then of course, that's it. The crew wanted me to give you all a message. They all said they can't wait to get you all on board and welcome back their guests and say welcome home. They miss you. So
that is amazing. I really enjoyed that. Thank you so much for putting all that together. I know how much time it takes. Thank you. Those itineraries are just fabulous. And like you said, that 30-day one hits everything. That's one that I might have to do a little convincing to my husband too. But I mean, why not? It's something that, we haven't been cruising in 16, 17 months. So plan on something for 2022 that you can really dive right in and explore the area and to see it fully and properly.
Exactly. Well, you know what? I mean, we missed anniversaries, birthdays, graduations, family get-togethers. Let's do it right. And actually, we're seeing huge multi-generational groups being booked because everybody's just like, let's go and celebrate and have a good time together. So.
And with the app too, and multi-gen travel, you're able to keep an eye on where your group is so that you can join the, I want to go visit, my grandparents, and they can kind of look them up, and provided they haven't said, no, I want private time.
Exactly.
But, you can find them and go and get them. So that's awesome. Wow.
Exactly. Well, and you can actually text on the app. You can actually text anybody on board the ship that you're with for free. So there's like internal texting, so you can keep in touch, even if they're hiding even if they've chosen to turn their medallion off so you can't see them, you can text them and say, hey, where are you at?
Come and meet me at this place, or I've got a drink waiting for you, or something.
Exactly.
That's great. No, I really like the Ocean Medallion app too. That's incredible.
Thank you. Yes, we're very proud of it. We are very proud of it, and can't wait till we get to get on board and experience it. So
yeah, absolutely. Well, I hope everybody has a great week, and we'll see you all next week. Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for watching this week's Cruise Chat with Cindy from Princess Cruises. It was just amazing to learn about some of those itineraries, to hear all those neat little tidbits, and to see that amazing 30-day itinerary that just hit all of the right spots that you want to explore and to see. And Cindy was mentioning, as we were doing the recording, that Antarctica is owned by 3 different countries, but she didn't know which ones at the time. So I Googled it just while we were off of the recording just to see, and it's actually owned by 12 different countries. According to Google, it says people from all over the world undertake research in Antarctica, but Antarctica is not owned by one nation. Antarctica is governed internationally through an Antarctic treaty system. The treaty was signed in 1959 by 12 countries who had scientists in and around Antarctica at the time. So that was super fascinating. I really enjoy history and I love learning facts, so I thought I would share that one with you. If you have any questions about Princess or about any of the other cruise chats that I have done on the past episodes, because I put out one every week on Thursday, please come and visit our Facebook group. It is Plenty of Sunshine Travel on Facebook, and ask any questions that you might have there. And I'll be sure to include them in the next week's episode if there's something that you really, really would like to know. Or if there's a specific cruise line that I have not met with yet that you would like to see, by all means, reach out and I will make it work for you so that you can learn about those cruise lines. Next week, I'm going to be meeting with Azamara, and we're going to be going over some of their exciting itineraries as well. And one of the unique things about Azamara is they never start and end in the same spot. So they end up working their way around the world, and their ships are constantly on the move. So they start and end in the same spot. So that to me is amazing for you to do back to back. So often when you do back-to-back cruises and you make a really long, really immersive experience, you end up seeing either Western or Eastern Caribbean back-to-back, and then they go back to Eastern again. But with Azamara, it doesn't have the same ships going to the same spots all the time. So you're going to be able to see a new destination and a new culture and a new experience every single time. And I think that's just fabulous. So be sure to tune in next week to learn more about them. If you would like to reach out to me, by all means, send me an email at info@plentyofsunshinetravel.com. And as I mentioned, you can go and visit the Facebook pages and groups as well. And if you're listening to this on our podcast, thank you so much for tuning in on our Cruising the Waves podcast. If you want to see any of the pictures, please head over to our YouTube channel, Plenty of Sunshine Travel on YouTube. And alternatively, if you'd like to listen to any of these episodes on the go, tune into our podcast. They're all up on there. They're on your favorite channels, We make sure that they're distributed throughout all of them. So by all means, just come and check that out. So thank you so much and have a great week, everybody. Goodbye.